I'm really excited. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time today to support People Pitch. This is a great opportunity for us to celebrate nonprofits by giving them visibility and accessibility. Now, what you're going to see today is some incredible pitches by some amazing nonprofit organizations that are making some huge impacts in our community. So, when they get up here, I want everybody to do me a huge favor and stand up, give them a huge round of applause, and get them fired up to come up here and to present to you their pitch. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name's Aaron Wiley. My friends call me Aaron, and I am a part of the People Pitch. And with that said, let me introduce the hostess with the mostest, the woman who brought this all together, who is in charge of the Utah Advocacy Coalition and this amazing brand called the People Pitch. So please, let me introduce Alyssa DeHart, everyone. There it is. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There it is. Woo.
Okay, I think we all need an Aaron in our life for hype. My heavens, that was so nice. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I am really excited to share today with you. We created People Pitch to bring action together. We all have ideas. Thank you so much. Thank you to Drink It In for the Italian sodas. It's amazing. We know we have challenges in our community, and we know there's a lot of people problems, and we know that we also are the solution to those. So bringing real solutions and real challenges into the room together lets us start to think differently about them and find ways to make progress. It really lets us unleash our power and step into action. And so that's a really exciting thing to me, especially because a lot of these nonprofits and businesses are created by people who do think differently. They're the innovators, they're the creatives. And each of you in this room is in a position to do something to help each other. So advocacy is not limited to nonprofits, though. We have a couple really great ones here in the room. Business, you're in a position to advocate as well. And each of us as individuals, as human beings in our humanity, we each can be advocates by raising our voice. My commitment to advocacy is, that word's a little tricky to say as it turns out, but it's personal. For me, I have 2 children who were impacted, they still are, impacted by disabilities significantly. I have a son who was diagnosed with dyslexia in 2nd grade, and it really shaped his educational journey and his life. And then a daughter whose autism diagnosis came at 14 years old. So I learned really quickly that staying quiet wasn't an option. We really do need to advocate for each other, speak to their needs, help them understand their needs so that they also can become advocates and have the help that they need, rather than feeling like a misfit or someone that doesn't belong. Understanding their conditions and understanding their situation empowers them with the knowledge and ability to become a great force for good in the world. Today, we have a couple of things going on. We're going to have some giving voices who are really renowned businessmen who have accomplished a lot in their careers. They're going to share with us why giving is part of their life, how it's impacting, how it's reshaping their business. And then we'll also hear from nonprofits who are ready to share how they are here to bridge gaps in our community and what they're doing. They're going to speak very honestly about what's going on and what we're facing. That's something that as a mom I recognized was one of the kindest things that we can do for each other, is really speaking up about what we've experienced and what we are experiencing, that it's not all just polished and perfect, that there's struggles. And as we do that, we recognize we're not alone in that struggle, and we have camaraderie with that. So today is about connection with purpose. We're going to think about what's going on and be able to put those ideas into a powerful mix that will help our community evolve. We're going to start with a spotlight on Ryan Porter with Live View Technologies. Many of you have probably seen his large towers throughout our communities that are shining a light truly on things that used to be hidden and bringing visibility, accountability, and prevention. So that in and of itself is a huge community give. But what stands out to me, I actually heard him speak at one of Utah Business Founder Friday events, which are incredible. And he mentioned that giving is really fueling his success in business and driving his impact. So how he chooses to use his influence to support where it's needed is what he'll be sharing today. After Ryan, we have Stand for Kind. We have Jessica Harris here with Stand for Kind. Their focus on dignity and safety for students is incredible. I'm thrilled to see it, especially being a mom of somebody who had some differences. Bullying can be a real thing. So this is the prevention I wish I knew we had. And then she will have 5 minutes for a pitch, and then we will have 3 minutes to be able to ask her questions. So as she's pitching, think of the things you want to know, and she'll be able to share those with you. Then we have the incredible Matt Warnock from Connect, who will be here representing their organization. This is a fun, unique organization that helps startups. You'll hear more about that in a little bit. So he comes more from the financial world, and there's a very human need that they are supplying and connecting. And then after Connect, we will have Jeff Durham from Gimme Beauty and Durham Brands, who shows what it looks like to build businesses with purpose behind it. So one of our presenters that was selected as a top nonprofit for this month was English Skills Learning Center. She really wanted to be here. We really wanted her to be here, but she has a health complication that made it so she absolutely cannot be here. We do, and we're going to look forward to seeing her in December 9th, she will pitch. We have a card that's going around for her. It'll come your way during the session, and if you'll just sign a little note, her name is Katie Donneville, and we'll get that over to her. So hope to help her heal a little faster and a little better. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Let's welcome Ryan Porter to the stage.
All right, I'm Ryan Porter. They told me I've got 35 minutes to talk, or 3 to 5 minutes to talk. Just want to quickly tell you a little bit about what we got involved in. It was probably about 4 years ago at LVT. We wanted to get involved in something that the company could sponsor and that people on the team inside the company could be a part of. And I went to a company down in Utah County and walked down a hall, and they had all these pictures of these people that were in Ghana, and these incredible pictures and the colors and the smiles on their face. And I was like, what is this? And they said, oh, there's a group called Daybreak that we're involved with that does cataract surgeries in Ghana. And so that was just, I saw this and I was like, this is awesome. So I got more into it to learn about it. And I found out that in these third world countries, specifically Ghana, people get cataracts that form, and then over time they get thicker and thicker to the point that they're blind. They can be blind in one eye, or they can be blind in both eyes. And everything else is physically fine with them, it's just they can't see. And in investigating, we learned that it's about a 15-minute surgery to go in and remove the cataract, and then they put a synthetic lens in, and within 24 hours, they have excellent vision. And this group, Daybreak, was just, it's a small group of doctors that are passionate about it. They have their practices here in the U.S., and they wanted to be involved, put this together. So we met with them and started working with them and got to the point where we sponsor basically the program to run year-round. to do these surgeries. And so from the company side, we send a group over. We do 2 trips a year. We send a group over of employees. There's usually about 8 employees, and they can take a +1, usually their spouse or a child or something. They go over there, and in the course of 6 days, we'll do, on average, about 1,000 surgeries in 6 days. And so it's around the clock, nonstop. It is the most uncomfortable, hot, smells, terrible food, everything you can think of in these environments, but it is the most incredible time. And it ends up being, so we pay, the company sponsors and pays for everything, the surgeries, the hospital, the nurses that are there, the lenses, everything included. It ends up being about $100 an eye to do the surgery. And so as we got into this, you just start to get like this passion and this drive to, now it's like a pair of pants is $100. You go out to dinner and it's $100, and you can start saying, hey, that $100 can give somebody sight. One of the trips that we went on, there was a woman there. She had 5 kids. Her job, she does laundry at her house, at her kind of makeshift house. She had cataracts in both eyes. She had been blind for 4 years, so she couldn't see at all. So she couldn't work anymore. She has 5 kids. The oldest child is 14. Now the 14-year-old's job is to provide for the family. So the 14-year-old had to get out of school, and the 14-year-old is now doing the laundry to make money for the family. She came in, had cataract surgery, 15 minutes. You can see in some of these pictures, you can see, so you do the surgery, then you put these bandages on, and we basically take them outside of the hospital, set them on the ground, and then the next morning we line them all up, and there'll be 200 people in chairs outside with these bandages on, and then you just go through, just like this here. You go through, you take the bandages off, put some drops in their eyes, they go over, and then they do an eye test. And this woman had cataracts in both eyes, blind for 4 years, had the surgery. The next morning took the bandages off. She could see 20/20 vision. Her youngest child is 3 years old that she had never seen before with her eyes. So she saw her child for the first time, and then they went back. We have a video crew that goes to kind of document things. Went back, and the 14-year-old was in school the next Monday. So it's like, it's incredible. And so for us as a company to be able to be a part of it, to have our employees go and experience that, it's life-changing. I've been able to go multiple times, and it's extremely uncomfortable, but it is the most amazing experience that I've ever had. And so I think from a business side, we have our own business. We're doing the things that we do for the company, but to be able to be involved in this has been really valuable for our company and the people in our company. So that's our story.
Thank you so much, Ryan. That was really impactful, and $100 does look a lot different now. Imagine being able to see with a meal out to dinner. Okay, all right, let's welcome Jessica. Stand for Kind. Come on up. Yeah, well, this should work. So I don't know why. It's not a thing without a technical snafu, right? Okay, all righty. All right, let's go ahead and start with another round of applause for Jessica. We're going to get our technology figured out here.
Give it up.
Okay, here we are. Okay, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity. So first, I will just tell you really quick. So my name is Jessica. I work for an organization called Stand for Kind. So Stand for Kind is a mental health nonprofit who goes into schools nationwide, and we do mental health, all the things around mental health training, tools, resources, bully awareness, suicide prevention, and all of that. However, before I tell you more about Stand for Kind, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about how I got involved with Stand for Kind. So this is my family. I have 4 kids, amazing kids, and I have, sorry. They are amazing, and I'm sorry. I am a little emotional because this is actually a story that's very near and dear to my heart. I also have a son-in-law that is amazing as well, and a beautiful granddaughter also. So the way that I got involved with Stand for Kind, first as a mom, I was raising my kids. Being a mom, being, all that you can be for your kids. And as a mom, and maybe other parents have experienced, you feel like I can help my kids with anything. I have the answers. I can figure this out eventually, We try to do that as parents. We want to show up for our kids. However, sometimes different challenges hit you, and they are complicated, and they're things that we don't know how to handle. So a few years ago, I had a daughter that was struggling with mental health. And she, it's something that I didn't think that we were gonna struggle with. She came to us and just told us that she was having suicidal ideation. She had some dark thoughts, and quite honestly, I was completely caught off guard. I had no idea how to handle this situation. It's not something that I was ever prepared for. And so as we navigated that challenge, we were able to find some help with some friends that helped us find help for her so that she could get into the necessary programs that she needed to be in to help her through that challenge. However, that was truly, one of the scariest moments of my life, the scariest weekend I've ever experienced in my life, knowing that my daughter had that in her mind. So since then, that experience changed everything for me. I never wanted another parent or child to feel the way that we felt during that time. So I dove into mental health. I tried to find all that I could find out about mental health, about suicide prevention, and bring that into the schools that my kids were in. So I dove in, and I was volunteering, and I was doing their ribbon weeks, just trying to really bring those resources in and more education around it as well. In doing so, I met Pam Hayes. And let's go to the next slide. Thank you. So Pam Hayes is the founder of Stand for Kind. Pam started it back in 2009. Pam saw a need, and she went to work trying to help fulfill this need for more mental health resources, trainings, education around everything suicide prevention and bully awareness. So for the past 17 years, Pam Hayes has really created this organization into the most amazing organization I believe is around right now. So with that, this is what Stand for Kind does. So Stand for Kind brings in comprehensive training programs to teachers, students, parents, admins, and resource officers as well. Everything around suicide prevention, also just working to create a culture of kindness, inclusiveness, and also just anything that has to do with mental health tools and resources. As I experienced as a mom a few years back, I know that I don't have all the answers. I wish I did, but I don't. So that is where Stand for Kind comes in. They help bridge that gap that some of us cannot. Teachers, schools, parents, things that we might need help with. They come in with programs to really help bridge that gap. Next slide. And these are just a few of the programs. And I say just a few, meaning there's a lot. We offer a lot. We bring them into the schools. One of my favorite phrases is, it takes a village to raise a child. And I had firsthand experience with that. Bringing in a network of people to really help support your kids, and also giving them the proper training and tools to really help our kids thrive in this community, in this world. Because as we know, the world is not kind, and everyone's going to experience hardships. No one is immune to that. And so if we can help our kids get better training, and also our parents and all those adults that support them, then that's going to help them be the most successful in life. Next slide. So one of the amazing tools that we offer is our Parent Toolkit. This is a free downloadable resource for parents. So Just like I experienced years before, I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know what I was doing. And some of the challenges that are out there, we don't know that our kids are facing. And so this kit really gives a lot of information to you parents to help your kids navigate these challenges that they're facing, things that I'm still learning a lot about. So this is a great tool, and I just would encourage you to scan that and download it because it's free and it's amazing. Next slide. And this is our S4K Connect business platform. I'm just going to mention it really quick. So as we were working in schools and providing all these amazing resources and tools and trainings, we saw the same need for our businesses, for employees, for different communities, different groups like veterans, first responders. And so we created our S4K Connects business platform. This is an amazing platform that really supports your businesses and your employees in their mental health, gives community connections, so many great things. So I would encourage you to scan that if you want more information. And lastly, we have 3 ways to get involved with Stand for Kind. First off, we always have events going on. And these are just a few events we have. The next one we have that we're super excited about is our November 15th event, Dinner Theater Sing-Along. We are super excited. We want to sell this out, so please share if you can. The next way to get involved is with our business platform. I would really encourage you, if you do have a business, to please check it out, download it, ask us about it. We'd be happy to share that information. And the last way to get involved with us is to scan this QR code. That will take you to our website where you can bring us into your community, into your schools. In Utah, we do have grants that cover the programs that we bring into schools, and so it is really a great thing to have and to bring into your schools and really help your communities thrive. So that's about it, and again, thank you so much for letting me share about Stand for Kind. Thank you. Couple minutes, maybe a minute. Any questions at all?
Do you do work all over the state or just in Salt Lake, or do you work with rural communities?
Oh, absolutely. We work all over the state. And like I said, we are nationwide as well, but yes, we are all over the state in over 400 schools, maybe more than that in Utah. So yes, we definitely work in those communities. And we were just there last Friday in a few of those communities. So yes, we definitely do that. Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, that's a good question. We're doing a Mamma Mia themed sing-along. I know. So you get to wear I'm excited. You get to wear a costume. I already have mine. And you get to sing. And we have professional performers coming in to do this. And it's going to be awesome. We have production coming in and a beautiful Greek dinner. And this can be a fun night out with the girls, with your husband, your spouse, whoever, even your kids. So 8 years old and up. That's it, yeah. Yes.
How many languages are you able to provide services for, especially when you go into the schools that have kids that English is their second language?
Yes. Okay, no, definitely Spanish. We do that for sure. We even have on our site, some of our curriculum is in Spanish. Our parent toolkit as well, we have in Spanish. As far as other languages, I don't know that we have. Yes. Yes. Yep. That's a great question. Thank you.
I'm curious, you mentioned that you also have effectively offerings for businesses as well. How do you differentiate what you're doing for children in schools versus in businesses? Does it focus more as being parents in the workplace and how you support children, or is it really focused on the similar tenets of what you're teaching kids but into a business setting?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the schools, we're definitely working with the kids peer-to-peer, trying to help them talking to their peers and bringing that education in, and of course with teachers as well, but in businesses. So we're really trying to give you this platform that gives more training around leadership and we do a lot of leadership and resiliency and grit and all of that in the schools as well. But yes, it is definitely catered to adults and for our businesses to really support their employees' mental health. So there's a lot of courses in there that the employees can take advantage of and learn from, and they can personalize these different hubs for your business so that you have a community for your employees to go in and really get the support they need and also find connection, find communication, things like that they can do with their employees. And there's, like I said, there's a ton of different ways to customize this, but it really is catered to the adult community. And there's so much you can do with it. So it's actually a really amazing tool, and we'd love to sit down and demo it for you if you're interested.
Nice. Jessica,
Yes.
besides monetary resources, what is the greatest need the organization has? Is there other ways we can volunteer or get involved?
Yeah, we have a way for you to sign up to be a volunteer to really help with different events that we have. We do big service projects as well as working within the schools, but even with the employees, we actually did a lunch and learn recently where we were able to bring the employees in to help us provide some really neat tools to go into. It's called a Lift Kit, Lift Your Fellow Teen. They go into the schools to help kids that are really struggling, but we had the employees make and do some really neat things to go into these kits. So we were able to get the employees involved in helping with that. So that's just one way, but yes, there's lots of ways, and we have a way to sign up as a volunteer. If you contact us, we'll put you on our volunteer list.
Great. Well, let's give it up for Jessica and Stand for Kind. Let's go.
I've got the lapel mic. Does the clicker work? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Thanks, James. You all know these logos. These are companies that have changed the world. What you may not know is something else that they all have in common, and that is that every last one of those started in somebody's garage. And that's not actually a coincidence. Next slide. I don't know how to work this computer. While big companies like this are fighting over market share, all of these companies have also been accused of monopoly at some point. But while they're doing that, the future is being invented by startups in other garages across the country. But here's the dirty secret about startups. Next slide. Even for venture-backed startups, the cream of the crop, over 90% of them fail. And worse yet, the founders of those companies, the innovators that make them go, when they fail and take out their life savings with them, they often don't try again. And that loss hurts all of us to the tune of about $300 billion a year. So we should be asking ourselves, why do startups fail? The SBA will tell you that the main things that they lack are experience and capital. But if you know how, you can get experience and capital. The problem is most of those startups don't know how. They need help. And this is not the first kind of time that Americans have faced this kind of a problem. Next slide. When the pioneers moved west, every one of them needed a barn. And most of them had never built one before. So what did they do? Well, when you get your neighbors involved, a barn goes up fast and easy and strong, and the entire community is helped by that. We've been doing the same thing for startups since 1983. We break it down into 3 steps. First, you have to start right. You need to build the right foundation for your startup. You need to test your ideas with actual consumers or actual customers. Secondly, you need to raise enough money. And to do that, you need to make the right pitch to the right investors. Finally, you need to go out and change the world by attracting the best team, getting the best partners, and executing on a plan that actually works. Next slide. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we do is we lean a lot on volunteer labor. We have a team of 500 people who volunteer their time to help these startups get off the ground, get started right. We put 6 to 8 of those people in a team with the startup founder, and over a period of 6 to 8 weeks, they work on their pitch. Now, it may sound like that is working on presentation, but because the investor pitch covers the entire business, it's actually substantive. We give them advice about how to build a startup that can actually win. Next slide. Does it work? Well, in the last 43 years, we have mentored over 1,000 startups in 43 states and 3 countries. Those startups have gone out to raise $30 billion worth of capital. Utah, you may not know this, but Utah is now the #1 state for both startups and for unicorns successful. And 60% of our alumni go out and raise money in the first year, and 80% of them are still in business 10 years later. You can put that up against anybody's stats. It's crazy. Next. So our vision is to help more startups in more places. One of the things we learned during COVID was that with virtual mentoring, we can mentor from anywhere to anywhere. And that gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility. We've also concentrated more on more frequent local networking events that helps provide those founders with the network that they need. And finally, we've developed a Pay It Forward program that helps us participate in a small way in the equity of those companies so that when they succeed, we can channel that back to new founders. But in the meantime, we're still very dependent on donors and sponsors. Next slide. Futurist Alan Kay once said, "The best way to predict the future is to invent it." This is the opportunity to do that. You can invest to support volunteers in your local community, to help the startups in your local community. They in turn will create high-tech jobs, build your community, and invent the future. Thank you for your time. Any questions I can answer? Any questions?
How do you find your startups?
Usually they're referred to us by investors. What happens is that when an investor sees a deal that they look at and they say, you know, it might be a good idea, but it really isn't investable yet, they'll refer those startups to us.
So how many a year are you helping right now?
We just graduated 30 at our annual event, and that is about 25% more than we have usually done at annual events in the past. So it's growing fast, but there's still a lot more to do.
Awesome.
How do startup founders get started with you?
It's easy. They just go to our website. There's a big thing that says sign up to pitch. That's where you do it. By the way, we are always looking for additional mentors. And a lot of people don't think they have the skills to help with this kind of stuff. Let me tell you, you learn very, very quickly what works and what doesn't. And everybody in this room has different experience to bring to the table in that process. So if you feel at all inclined to help out as a mentor, you can also go to the website and sign up that way. When I moved back to Salt Lake from Silicon Valley in 1998, my brother was involved in the startup community. One of the first things he said was, you need to check out this organization. I started volunteering back then. It has been an absolute gift in my life. You meet people who are willing to volunteer their time to help improve their community, and a lot of those people have tremendous business experience, wonderful networking connections. It's a great way to get involved. Other questions? Yes.
So I have to ask, I know DEI has kind of become a very unnecessarily controversial term, but in terms of like metrics on participants and also just diversifying the startups that you're helping, what are y'all tracking those metrics? Are you actively seeking out any, having a diverse pool of startups that you're working with? And I ask in part because there's a diversity specific VC fund that I actually got connected with yesterday, so I'd love to do like an intro or something like that. But I know that's something they care about, and we're in Utah. So.
It's something we all should care about. It's absolutely critically important, and I think it was 7 years ago we started one of the first women's entrepreneurs programs, and we have always, the whole time that I've been mentoring, we've had a pretty significant number of women entrepreneurs come through, but that number is increasing dramatically of late. And a lot of times, the women entrepreneurs, for whatever reason, don't seem to have as good a network as the boys club, right? And so this is an opportunity to help build that network. We're very excited about it. About between a third and a half of our board of trustees are women, and there are some powerful, amazing women there. And we have veterans, we have people of color, we have immigrants and children of immigrants. It's curious to me that when people run up against a glass ceiling, well, a ceiling, glass or otherwise, a lot of those people will go out and start their own companies. That is a tremendous pool of resources. It's important that we support them. Other questions?
Just had one last one. So to clarify about when a startup or somebody who has an idea just in their nascent stages, they can go on and apply, and then from that they get assigned mentors, and I just wanted to see what the process looked like.
So as you saw, we had kind of the three-stage approach. The first one is start right. And not everybody does, unfortunately. We try to educate them early on, but the mentorship actually comes as they approach the point where they start to look investable. They may not have an entire team, they may not have all of the things that they need in order to actually get investment, but if they're approaching that point, we'll take them on and mentor them through that team approach. But even before that, we're working with those entrepreneurs to educate them about how to create their startup in the first place, how to set it up, what kind of a team they need, how to evaluate the opportunity. Is this an investable kind of a deal, or is this a lifestyle play? Those are things that a lot of entrepreneurs need to understand better before they go investing their life savings in it. So we want to touch those entrepreneurs as early as possible and then help them along that path to get to the point where they can approach investors with a deal that actually works. Yeah. Oh, okay. The first qualification is an interest in the problem and a willingness to serve. It's interesting that each of our mentor teams is actually assisted by a student intern. And some of those interns are interns in business that want to understand more about entrepreneurship. Some of them are in dance or music or whatever the case may be. But everybody who participates in the program, after trying it a little bit, talking to the other investors in the room, gets a feel for what an investable deal looks like. And they're able to share that as they become more proficient mentors. So I wouldn't let that scare you away. We don't have a qualification test. We don't stamp people's heads saying, yes, you're approved. We just want people who are willing to work with these entrepreneurs and help them and supply them with their business experience in terms of how well they can go about raising money from investors. Other questions?
All right. Thank you, Matt Warnock and Connect Capital.
Thank you, Matt and Jessica, and also thank you to Robin and James. They are the coaches behind these pitches, and they also helped man the slides, so thank you for that. These two different nonprofits are serving very different needs, and yet the thing that they have in common is they saw a need, they're filling a need, and run their model according to the nonprofit model and reinvest in the business. I'm a daughter of a defense analyst. His organization back in Washington, D.C. was also a nonprofit organization. So recognizing that we can solve all kinds of business issues with this model is really important. We have another person giving voice to why business is so important. Giving is so important to business. And so thank you to both of the presenters. Please give one more round of applause for them. They did amazing. So great. And let's welcome Jeff Durham.
Can you hear me? Good. So I'm Jeff Durham, and I'm a visionary. So I get two responses when I take the stage. I either get laughed at or people get really inspired. I hope it's the latter. But I run a company 20 years ago. I started a company called Durham Brands. And I just will preface this with, I have a dream. I have a dream where for-profit can be for good. And so let me tell you my backstory. So 20 years ago, my father and I started a brand, a house of brands. We had probably 10 brands that failed and 2 that really took off, 1 that sold, and now we're down to 1 brand that's doing really well. It's called Gimme Beauty. We're distributed in 25,000 stores now, with some of our major customers being Walmart, Target, Ulta. You can typically find our products within 5 miles of any home in the US. But I say that to share that we have a platform. I'm going to give you a little bit of a heartfelt, deep dive backstory where I found purpose. And I'll probably get emotional too. It's just I'm an emotional guy, but I live in a space now with my brand where I've arrived to where I'm turning my brand into a purpose platform. And so here we go, emotional journey. 2 years ago, I felt like I was going through a midlife crisis. It's one of those things where I woke up and I showed up at work, I was a robot, did the routine, we were doing fine, the business was stable, we were distributed well, but I didn't feel like I had purpose. And I felt hollow, I felt a little bit like a zombie. My wife asked me regularly, you look like you're dying. What's wrong? long story short, I developed a framework that I took myself through to get to the root of who I am and what I want to do with my life. I found clear intention, and I'm showing up differently than I ever did, and so let me go deep into it. I'm married to a wife that has ADHD. She has a couple other health issues that she's working through, but she sees the world differently and her mind works differently. She would die if she was in this room right now because her brain, the wires in her brain would crisscross and she'd feel a lot of static. But one-on-one, she's extremely powerful. And so she's taught me, we've gone on walks for the last 2 years, trying to help me understand her mind. I also have 2 daughters, so I'm a girl dad. Do I have any other girl dads? Thank you for being here. I have an opportunity to use my beauty brand platform to change the narrative for women. And I'm trying to build a better future for my daughters. Well, where it kind of rubber meets the road is my wife trained me, kind of let me walk in her shoes for a moment, where she said, history hasn't been fair to women, whether it's access to capital, giving them rights, allowing them to own a home, giving women to men as a marriage contract. A lot of things have been a resistance to women and females. So my brand, my goal, and I'm burning my boats on the shore, I will change the narrative for women. And I had a victory this week where my wife said that she was bragging to her girlfriends about what I do. And that meant everything to me. I do this for her. So how am I making impact? My brand, Gimme Beauty, will unlock potential in 100,000 women in the next 5 years. We have a 3-pillar mission through opportunity, education, and essentials that will get there. And if you want to go deep dive into how we'll do it, I have every one of 100,000 women planned out how we'll do it. I have a bigger dream that for-profit, for good could be the future, and Utah is a ripe garden bed to build that from. So what if we could wake up and for-profit partnered with nonprofit to bring resources that were unending, that perpetuated? And what if we used engines of economic value creation for good, so that it's no longer about the gala and raising donations, it's partner with a for-profit to have a business model that feeds your mission. That's what my brand is. I've run a forum for 12 years with 75 brands in Utah, and I'm training them and indoctrinating them in this future way. So my story ends on the side of my heart has turned also to Africa. There's a lot of opportunity, and it's interesting that our friend here also shared about Ghana. But I have a dream to unlock 10 million jobs around the world, because I'm working with a group that's creating education for people, and they feel like they'll graduate with, by 2040, 10 million people. But there isn't jobs. If people had jobs, they could solve all their problems. So my goal is to use my platform, Gimme Beauty, but also my network of brands. I've got 100 in Utah now, 100 in Texas. I'm reaching out to Seattle. I've got another 100 brands. And my goal is to create the dating app of brands and nonprofits to create a better future and to unlock potential, and ultimately make a better tomorrow for my daughters. Thank you.
Wow, Jeff, I share that dream, because really the impacts we can have when we put ourselves together can be so much greater than just, entertaining ourselves for the goal, right? So that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn this right around. We have a couple other things to share. Before we do, though, you guys really, it was incredible. The things you shared. Ryan, thank you so much. Matt and Jessica, amazing. And Jeff, that was wonderful. It's amazing to me as I put these events together with the help of so many of you here. They turn out so much better than I could ever plan. It's like the matchmaking, It's beyond me, and I'm thrilled about it. It's so fun and so exciting to see. And before we get there, I'm sorry, we're gonna figure this little bit out. But Utah Advocacy Coalition is built with just this mission in mind, with the things you're doing, Jeff, Ryan, with you looking forward in your business. We do have gaps in our community that need to be filled. Your story of your wife's differences. Matt, the people that you serve are definitely neurodiverse people with the ability to think outside the box. And Jessica, often that results in some early childhood trauma, truly, that, for some reason we all want to be the same when we're a lot younger, huh? And that's not the way we're made, and that's on purpose because we all need to fill different functions in the world and in our life. So each of you, I saw that common thread throughout this, and hopefully you did too, that there are ways that we can help each other because of our differences, not in spite of it. It's actually because we're different that it makes it all work and that we make progress. So Utah Advocacy Coalition is the host and the presenter of People Pitch. We've created this event as our signature event to drive forward the message and our mission that each of us can use our voice so that we can empower families, we can elevate advocacy, and really expand the giving circles, because we all have value, we all have something to give. It's more than money. It can be our time. It can be in any way that we're able, we can give and create growth and promote progress in our community. We have a couple of other things that we work on with Utah Advocacy Coalition. We're supporting a couple of legislators with some bills. This next session, there's a bill file open for dyslexia intervention. Currently, our teachers are not able to suggest screening without repercussions from administration. And so we're putting some language in there to make some shifts on that, and also redefining dyslexia for the state of Utah so that we have a holistic view of dyslexia. It's not all bad news. There's some really good parts of it. And that would include an education platform for teachers to understand the relevance and the need to have early screening and be able to let these kids understand fully about themselves. In addition to that, we take different groups out to different impact organizations. We've been able to visit Food and Care Coalition and the Other Side Village. We've gone a couple of times. We've hosted some films. Uncharitable, the director was just here, and he talked about this as well. Nonprofits are businesses. We need mission support. We need to think of ourselves as businesses and step across those invisible boundaries that hold us back. We have a little video to share about some of those impacts. Everyone's welcome. You can find these invites and things on social media and on our website. I'll go ahead and share a couple of the things that we've been up to here. This is visiting the Primary Children's Behavioral Center in Taylorsville. It's new. It added 35 beds. We are in desperate need of that. Families can go and receive a warm welcome. This is Food and Care Coalition in Provo. This is the ribbon cutting for that Primary Promise. Other Side Village, if you haven't been to that donut shop, it's like none other. It's amazing. Run by people who would otherwise be incarcerated, but who have agreed to live the standards here and now are earning wages, contributing to our tax base. OtCon, we've helped plan that. That was a event for people with autism, by people with autism. And Homemade. We worked with them on bringing Uncharitable to Utah. And at that event, Stephen Gyllenhaal, the director, let us know that there is a group creating a mini-series based on Uncharitable called 5 and Rising. He said they're selecting 5 cities to be part of this initiative. Salt Lake City's not on the list, but he's hoping to change that. And we can help him with that by being willing to be ready to step up and do it. So we're working on that, more to come on that. And then I have a couple of impact moments from previous people who have pitched. Alicia is actually here. Can you give her the mic? And she can just share. This is her quote. She was on the stage here pitching for Road Home, and we'll just hear it in her voice.
All right. Okay. All right. Yes, People Pitch was honestly one of the most incredible opportunities for me and for our nonprofit. I had never given a true pitch before, and working with a coach who guided me to craft concise and impactful message was just absolutely invaluable. A little note too, it was one of those things that we as an agency had never given a true pitch before. We'd done a lot of presentations, but being able to pitch and being able to take that wisdom and knowledge and all the things that the coach taught me back to our team was, again, invaluable. The mentorship, the wisdom, experience, and direct feedback was absolutely my favorite part. Again, my mentor was great. I showed her my first pitch deck, and she went, "That is awful, we're starting over." And I was so appreciative, because at least it was like honest, great feedback, and it helped us be better. So and again, I'm sure the two who pitched today did an incredible job, and being able to pitch to a room full of engaged and supportive people just felt like the perfect conclusion to this. So if you're, anybody in this room that's part of a nonprofit that hasn't been able to pitch, I can't recommend it enough. It was just invaluable for us, and we're just so grateful for the opportunity.
Thanks so much, Alicia. And then Tech Moms pitched. They weren't able to be here, so they sent a video to share.
Hi everyone, I'm Trina with Tech Moms, and we were so excited to be part of this year's People Pitch. This event gave us the chance to share what Tech Moms is all about, helping women find flexible, family-friendly careers in tech while building confidence and community. Through People Pitch, we not only raised awareness of our mission, we built real connections with partners, mentors, and organizations who share our passion for creating opportunity. To everyone who made this possible, thank you. Your support helps hundreds of women every year step into viable tech careers with a strong, supportive community behind them. That's our power. And together, we're just getting started.
Tech Moms did a great job. In the day that they pitched the gift, we always have something that the nonprofits benefit other than just the business knowledge that they've gained and experience. And KUTV News was here that day. Mark Cobell joined us as a giving voice, and he did a news spot for everyone who was here. Tech Moms just had their 5-year anniversary, and Trina reached out to me and then got the info so she could reach out to Mark Cobell. And they ran a whole news spot celebrating their 5th anniversary. So that's what it's all about. Huge impact. It's not always money. Sometimes it's visibility. It's awesome. Okay, now this is your chance. We need your help. We don't know all of the good things that are going on. We want you to nominate people that you know that are making a huge difference, whether they're giving through their businesses or if they're a nonprofit who needs some visibility and warrant it. Submit their names to pitch. We want to hear from you, and your voice matters. We need to see each other in these new ways and move it forward together. Like Trina said, together is really how it happens. And you saw what we're about at Utah Advocacy Coalition. We'd love to have you join us. We are completely volunteer-based. All of the coaches, everyone are donating their time and really driving this effort forward to bring business and nonprofits together in new ways to gain this visibility, and with the end result of what's near and dear to my heart, having the resources that families need so that nobody's struggling in silence. We really want everyone to be able to have connection that's meaningful, that combats loneliness, to see each other, that we all have things that we need help with, and that's okay, that we are better together. So today, I'm really excited what the gift is today. We've had someone who gave $1,000, someone who did a news spot. Last time, they all got a membership to the West Jordan Chamber. This time, I reached out to Minky Couture, and they were so generous. They gave a Minky blanket to each of the presenters today. So if you presented, if you'll go ahead and come up on stage, and coaches, come join them. We have a Minky blanket for each of you. So come on up on stage. Robin, thank you for helping with those, and Aaron. Sierra Condi is the brand specialist there at Minky, and something that she told me was what they like to do. Before I say this, if all of you, hopefully you've dropped your card in the little blue bowl because you have a chance to win one. We're going to have one more after this. But what she wanted was each of you, Jeff and Ryan, we'd like you to join us on stage too, since you presented, and then he's got somewhere to be. So go ahead and select your color that you'd like of blanket. One's for each of you who presented. And then for the nonprofits, they wanted us to give you an additional one. So one for you and one for you to give away and share. And you can decide what that looks like and who it goes to. There you go. And then we have one for each of you coaches as well. There you go. So, and we have a lucky winner. So let's see. Michaela, would you mind grabbing that bowl? Okay, someone's grabbing the bowl. Great. Okay, so hang tight. Yeah, just a minute. Okay. You know what? We didn't give you a moment to speak at the beginning of it. So Michaela is from Kiln, and Kiln has generously hosted us here all 4 times, and we're grateful for them. Can we have a round of applause for Kiln? Thank you. Thank you. Really awesome. Okay, I don't want to draw it. Can you come draw it? Yes, please, come draw it.
Oh, so we do have cards in there too.
Yes.
Oh man, I forgot to put my card.
We need a better basket.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, Andrew Cobb. Cole. Wait.
Do we have an Andrew Cole?
Congratulations,
Andrew. All right, come on up. Come on up. And Andrew, so actually this is the Minky moment. They want you to take one, and then they want you to take another one and give it away. And we want to and then we want to hear about it. Who did you choose to give it to? Why? And what happened? We want that giving spirit to live on today or this week, whenever you choose to do it. Okay? Give us some thought. Let us know what it is we want to hear. So thank you. Everyone, a round of applause for Andrew. Okay. Would somebody, I want to take a selfie with everyone here before we head out. So let me go ahead and get this picture. And then you guys get ready. We're gonna take a picture with all of you. Okay. All right, let's turn around and we'll get everyone in it. You got your Minkies. Okay, let's see here. All right, Matt, you're going to have to go shorter. Okay, here we go. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's have a round of applause for Minky Couture and their generous giving. Okay. Go ahead and follow us on social media for more events like this. We're excited to have another event on November 11th and December 9th, and we want to hear about your events too. So can we have one more round of applause for everyone who pitched, for all of you who are here today, You're the magic, and you are what makes this movement move forward. So if you got to sign the card for Katie, who's not able to be here, we welcome you to do that. And thank you again. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. If you enjoyed it, please post to social media, share it with your friends, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Thanks. Bye.
when someone starts talking and it's like insane, you'll see it, right? And it's like turned all the way up and you'll know, you'll just tap it down too. Yeah.